Hey there folks, it's Simply H here, your fuller figure YouTuber, coming at you from the nerd room here in Bristol in England. And today's video is very different, or a different topic to my usual videos that I put out on this channel. I mean, as you can see, I'm into the nerdy stuff, I'm into food, and I like to talk about movies and music and things like that. You can go watch. I like to react to videos, and but deep down, or not even deep down, obviously I'm a South African young man, and grew up loving South African rugby, and I still love South African rugby. The reason I've never really spoken about rugby much on this channel is because I am a positive person. I like to talk about positive things, and I don't like to harp on negatives. And it's about 24 hours since South Africa, or the Springboks at least, played against the Wallabies or Australia, and we lost the game. And my first impression after the game was, I can't understand it. We basically had the game, it was ours for the winning, but we lost it for ourselves. And I was very negative about this, and I was very much, in fact, my post straight after the game that went up onto Facebook was, so the Springboks found a way to beat themselves today. And then I thought about it a bit further throughout the day and throughout the evening, and I thought, you know what, they not only lost it for themselves, unfortunately they had some very questionable referee decisions going their way, and we managed to still lose. So I was very depressed and very down about all this, because at the end of the day, as a South African young lad, rugby flows through our veins, and it is something that we are very proud of and passionate about, and it really amplifies you from the inside. In fact, there was a time that I thought I should do live reactions of rugby games, and I realized that there's a lot of negative that comes out at these times, and this is why I don't do live reactions of rugby games, because I prefer not to be a negative person. So, this being said, I figured, how do we look at this situation in a positive light? Well, the positive light is, and many people, and I've seen a lot of comments online and on Twitter and on Facebook and on YouTube streams and things and such, and it's pretty much very negative. But I would like to look at the positive today and say that, you know what, there are those opportunities that we missed yesterday are the things that we were afraid of doing before. At least now we are trying to do these things which we weren't doing before, right? Now bear with me, a lot of South Africans or a lot of rugby people have been telling us about how our patterns are stale and we're not getting the basics right and all that. To me, the positive in the game from yesterday is the fact that had we not made those silly mistakes, we would have walked over them. Now, a lot of times, the way we judge our rugby in South Africa is against New Zealand, because they are the #1 team in the world, and they are the be-all and end-all at the end of the day. The problem is that the game right before our game was Argentina playing against New Zealand, and they looked pretty composed against New Zealand. Yes, the end score did not show that composure, because New Zealand, as they do, stepped into a whole nother gear in the third quarter of the game. But that's neither here or there. I think that, looking at it in a positive light, we are doing things that we did not do before. We are trying things that we weren't trying before, and we're failing at it. However, I think it was Gary Player that says there is no such thing as luck, it's all practice. The more you practice, the luckier you get. And that, I think, is the way to go forward. I think we're in a much better place in our rugby standings than we have been for the last couple of years. Again, personally, don't like to talk negatively because I know the hard work and things that go into well, I can only imagine half the hard work, but I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into being a successful team, and then you've got politics and all those things that also play a role in South African rugby. And the end of the day is that I think we are in a much better place than we were before. I think that we would have spoken a whole different, or we would have all been singing a whole different tune this morning had some of those things come to fruition that they were trying. It was silly mistakes, yes. However, the positive of those silly mistakes is they can now work on that, and those are the things to look at. I don't like it when we fire or badmouth or put players down when they have one or two bad matches. I prefer that we stick by people and that we give them a chance to learn and grow in their role. I do believe that we have a very strong team. I do think that we can take on New Zealand. However, we just need to work on those, I don't know, polishing those last little things up. Because again, that game, yes, it was ours for the taking. There's no real reason why we should be sitting here today, the losers. But hey, it is what it is. So me choosing to look at it from a positive light tells me that we've got something to work with now, whereas not long ago it felt like we didn't have much to work with at all to start off with. So that's my positive look at the game that we saw over the weekend, or yesterday to be more specific. Again, this is not my usual content that I put out on this channel. It's not something that I often talk about in YouTube land, if I can put it that way. But it really got me to the core because, again, as I said, I see myself as a positive person and I like to look at things from a positive light. And this was a good lesson on how to turn something more positive that wasn't too positive. Thank you all for watching. It was great to do something different for a change on this channel. If you like what you saw, please like, subscribe, do all the good stuff, and I'll see you again tomorrow for my weekly video. Cheers, bye.